Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Name's Tyler McNamara, and here I thought I would like to shoot a quick video and all about having personal grooming involving haircuts. So the way I see it is that you ever seen those little scary videos involving shaving? You know, when they have the razor and there's a slight chance that you might get cut. Yeah, I know. I've seen those before too. Actually, I think I've seen an IMAX one time too. It was scary. So that's why for a while at the time I prefer the razor. But even back then, I was kind of a little scared of the electric razor when it comes to haircuts. So what do we do? What was kind of like the strategies for that kind of stuff? Well, when we were doing haircuts when I was very little, we didn't really do the electric razor too much, and the reason why was because not only that it was too noisy, but also because it was vibrating against my head, and it was kind of it was kind of very uncomfortable at the time. So we kind of just practice. We practice on yeah, we practice a little bit on the hands, like the motion of the electric razor on the hands area, and it wasn't really too bad. You know, kind of worked our way up for that, more of the vibration sensation for that kind of thing too. But it was actually, but still, we made it work when it came to haircuts because we just mostly used the scissors for when we were doing the haircuts like that. So, that's what we kinda, did. We just mainly did the scissors, and I think it was when I was about 13, I'd say. That's when we kinda saying, "Hey, I think I'm ready for the buzzer," and you know, kinda discover more hairstyles in that sort of way. I kinda waited, for a while to get this haircut, just so I could do this, video about, getting a haircut and all that kinda stuff, just so I can show you you know, I'm on my way to get one, and wanted to, do a little video about that. And as well for personal grooming, especially with the shaving stuff, you know, it's good to try out the electric razor, and then you can use that electric razor for when you're old enough, a young adults, and be able to use the electric razor for for your face or just other body parts that you can think of. So I'll leave you up for imagination for that. But you know, occasionally I like to do electric razors even today, but most of the time, I kind of just use the regular shaver razors for that kind of thing too. I I wasn't really quite worried about that. You know, with the whole shaving cream and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's more efficient, but everyone is kind of different. I'm definitely not one to say, do this or do that. You know, it's more like give it a try, you know, that kind of thing too. And you know, maybe there's some folks out there prefer the electric razor, and some folks maybe prefer not the electric razor. It's okay, you know, as long as you have something that works for personal grooming. That's all kind of matters. So yeah, you know, it's you know, good to find different styles. Yeah, some people prefer to shave. Some people prefer not to shave. It's kind of you find your own style, find your own look, find your own individual haircuts, and you know, all that good stuff. I don't really, you know, you know, I kind of kept it simple for a while, but nowadays I don't think I could rock the bowl cuts, you know, personally. I'm more of a short, spiky haired kind of guy, and occasionally some bangs on the sides, like I'm some kind of rock star in some way. But that's just me personally too. You know, I always like to find different ways. I mean, who knows? Maybe I do like it along some areas, but you know, it's kind of fun to explore, hey, you know, different styles when it comes to hair grooming, and I encourage folks over there to let them know, or to encourage folks to find their own little styles. You know, be adventurous. Either grow your hair long, or maybe even grow your facial hair a little bit long to see if it works or not. You know, I tried that. I tried, you know, the whole goatee and stuff. And personally, I didn't really quite. Personally, it doesn't really quite look as good for me personally, yeah. But I'm sure people have different opinions. But I kind of like to keep it clean. It's kind of that's just my personal choice, and especially with having spiky hair or maybe even some bangs on the side. And it's the encouragement here is always to find your look, find your style, find your look, and it can be kind of fun. Kind of fun to see, even with choice of clothing and all that kind of stuff too. Normally, you probably see me with with a button-up shirt, but today I decided to do something with one of my favorites comic strip characters, Snoopy, that kind of thing too. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, finding fashion is fun. I mean, you probably would see me here playing The Sims 4, and most of it is just all about fashion and all that kind of thing too. And yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun, finding this, find your style, find your adventure, and it all starts with personal grooming and haircuts. So as soon as you could find your way to get used to the buzzers or and the clippers and all that kind of stuff too. Give some extra styles a good try. It's you never know which one is your favorites unless you give it a try. It's makes it makes it fun. And that's all it really is. About personal grooming, personal care, and haircuts and all that kind of stuff. It's it can be fun. Adventures are fun, and sometimes adventures can be scary. I can understand that, but that's what adventures are. They can be scary, but at the same time, they can still be fun. And find the fun, and you can find the progress. So yeah, I'll leave it with that. And for your next haircut appointment, give the electric razor a try. And if you don't feel comfortable, then that's okay. I'm not one to force people to try something new, but all I gotta say is, give it a try. Maybe either today or tomorrow or maybe the next day. But it's all up to you. I make that choice, and you never know. You might like it, or you might not so like it, but you never know unless you give it a try. So that's all I have to say. This is Tyler McNamer of Autism Works, and it's time to get to work to make it work.